Good afternoon, traders, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to go over this week's weekly three bangers. I'm going to take you into a full analysis of the three plays that I think this week are going to gain over previous week. And then obviously we're going to recap last week's three banger where we had Google, we had Amazon, and we had Toast as our primaries. You can see how those came in on the screen. Google was up 0.56%. Amazon was up 0.11%, and we lost with Toast at 0.71%. And the two bonus plays for the week, we had Para, which is Paramount, and IREN, which is a Bitcoin miner. And you can see how both of those performed extremely well at 3% and up 20%. So last week's picks did pretty darn well. So getting into this week's picks, what do we have? First up is Royal Caribbean. Ticker symbol is RCL. As you can see, this stock is extremely extended. We have a time count that has went past the 7 days, and I think we're now on the 11th day of up candles. But look what we're coming into. So we have this overhead resistance, as you can see here. So on Friday, we closed right at it. So I like this one to pull back next week and put in a weekly decrease over previous week. The next one up is Quantum, D-Wave Quantum Computing, which is QBTS. Look at the pattern we're in here. So we have a massive bullish flag going on. As you can see, last week's candle was fantastic. Looking at the daily, we've had nothing but up moves. So I do think we're going to go in and attack this line here, this upper end. And my hope is we get some bullish consolidation and break through. Now, I don't know if that's going to happen next week, but as a swing play and going into next week, I really do like this one. We had a nice reversal down here at the bottom, and we've put in these four up candles. So I like this one to continue going into the next week, and I do think we're going to get a positive week over week move on it, especially where our RSI is. And the next one on my list is Tesla. Unfortunately, I do think we are in somewhat of a downtrend here. You can see we have this triangle going on. Let me pull these off real quick so it's not so cluttered. So here's how here's the weekly candle on this one. We're in, let me go to the daily. You can see kind of how that's shaping up. So we had this nice little bounce off this support here, but it looks like, on Friday we had this rejection off the 150 day. So I do see this moving back down, and I do see this kind of coming back down to the bottom end of this parallel that we're in. So you have the two touch points at the top. You have the one here down at the bottom. Let me just change this, bring that in just a little bit. And then you can see, so we closed above the median, but I do see this rejecting next week, and I do see this coming down. You can see how RSI is kind of curling over here. So I think we're going to get a week over week decrease and decline in Tesla. Okay, so the two bonus ones for the week. Let's get into those. So SMH, the Van Eck Semiconductor ETF, ticker symbol SMH. So you can see we're into this kind of double top here. And we didn't close Friday decisively through it. We closed right on it. So I think we're going to come back down, and I think we're going to re-attack this trend line down here. So I'm making this a bonus play going into next week. I think we'll get a decrease. And the way, if I was playing it, and I will be, I'm going to be buying SOSX for a nice move up from here. So you can see on Friday, we had very, very small price action, very, very small movement, this kind of little doji candle. I think we get a reversal this week. So you have a pretty massive move down, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So yes, so this is going to be the bonus play. You can see volume increased. I mean, people are selling this, obviously, making all new time highs on the market with semiconductors doing what they're doing. But this would be a good way to play a bearish look on Tesla, or sorry, on semiconductors. And then the other bonus pick for the week is going to be Wolf. So you can see Wolf is extremely beat up. It is down, but it has formed. Let me go back to the weekly. You can see this weekly bullish divergence on the RSI. See higher highs on the RSI, and we curled over last week, and you had this massive buy candle that came in that took us from 37 cents or about 45 cents, and we closed at 118. So I like this one to continue going in the next week. These guys, just be careful on this one. These guys are close to bankruptcy, or they're, that's a rumor at least that they're close. But someone's buying it, and someone likes it, so they might be further away from bankruptcy than the stock has priced in. So these are the 2 bonus picks and the weekly 3 bangers. Again, just to recap the list, we have RCL bearish to the downside. I like it for a move. Now, I don't know if it's going to happen next week, but I like it to start retracing and moving like this. So again, this is a swing play. I think we're coming back down to test that top there. On QBTS, I like this for continued follow through to the upside. I think we're going to do something like this and hopefully consolidate here and then bust out. And I don't know if that's going to be next week or not, but I do like this setup, and I do like it to continue into next week. And then we have Tesla to the downside. So I see Tesla doing something like this. And again, I don't know that this whole move happens next week. We're coming actually probably down to test the bottom out of that triangle right there. Probably overthrowing this channel right here, and then probably getting a nice bounce from there. So bearish on Tesla to the downside, and then the 2 bonus plays are going to be the SMH bearish, and you can play that via stocks or just short the SMH, and then Wolf I like for continued follow through. So those are the weekly 3 bangers for the week. We'll recap them next week, and we'll see how we did. So just as a reminder, no financial advice. This is strictly for educational purposes only, and to show you what I am doing with my personal trading strategy. Thanks, everyone. Make sure you smash that like button, show me some love, subscribe to the channel, and we'll tune back in next week for a recap of this week's 3 bangers and go from there. Take care, and good luck next week, guys.